Good evening. We bring to you now an update on the East-West War as it is now being called. The Taeans and Chaharians continue to war with no end in sight. The Taeans have raised their quotas on their colonies in the Zayden Islands, and the Chaharians are working round the clock to send troops to the Dominion Tree. Small successes have been made on both sides, and it seems as if the Taeans and Chaharians are dancing around the Dominion Tree, but no effort has yet been made to break through the line and enter the city. Meanwhile, across the Tarjan Sea, the Anŷn split away from the Chaharian forces and pushed beyond the Anŷn border into Alan Hul. This forced the Alani to respond and force the Anŷn out. After a devastating defeat, the Anŷn have now retreated from the wastes and back to the east. We have with us here in the studio our war expert, Dr. Scientist Ethan. Doctor, what do you think the Anîn's plan is after their devastating defeat at Karn? Will they plan to hold a battle line at the border? And why did the Anîn decide to attack the Alani head-on in the first place?
Excellent questions, Ethan number one, and really a question that has baffled many of us. Why risk opening another front with a stronger enemy? I believe the answer is that they wished to draw one of the Taeans' most powerful weapons away from the battle at Dominion and possibly allow for the Chaharians to make a move. Looking at the retreat, I doubt that the Anîn ever wished to take land in Alan Hul, and the attack was merely a smokescreen and massive distraction away from Dominion. I would expect to see a big power move by the Chaharians here soon within the coming days. What it will be, I cannot say, but I guess it will have to do with their cannons, and maybe they will finally take over Dominion.
Thank you for your insight into this strange attack, Dr. Ethan. We will check in soon once again when more unfolds in Dominion and on the Elvish border. In the meantime, we have rumors of unrest in the capital of the Zayden Islands. As the details unfold, we go to Ethan number 2 in the capital, Denysa. Ethan number 2, what can you tell us?
Thank you, Ethan number 1. Whispers of unrest are indeed circulating the city and the rest of the islands. Something about the quotas being doubled and even tripled. Mayor Emea of Denysa has assembled the city to give an address, but until then I took the time to speak with a few of the Zayden citizens. One Terra Yarn, a lumberjack, said that just last week he and his fellow lumberjacks worked from sunrise late into the night for 5 days straight to meet their quota. One Amomo Army, a coal miner from Owole, said the similar, that they worked long, hard hours just to meet a portion of the Taean quotas. Behind me, you can see Mayor Emea is about to give his address. Let us listen in.
My dear folks of Zeta, greetings. I have heard your complaints, I have felt your exhaustion, and I have set to make your woes right. I, a steadfast Zayden, will not rest until the Taean crown has respected us as a people. That being said, I have sent firm letters to the King of Taealar and beyond, to make our cries for mercy heard by the other leaders of the countries of Aetos. If Taealar will not relent, maybe others will come to our aid. But let us hope our brothers across the sea will raise our wages and send us aid. We cannot do this alone.
Well, you have heard it here first. The Zaydens wish for social justice and ask for aid from the Taean king. If there are any updates, you will hear it here first. But until then, back to you in the studio, Ethan.
Thank you, Ethan number 2, for your coverage in Zeta. From the capital in Zeta, we now go to Bayar, the capital of Taealar and home of the royal family, where Ethan number 4 has secured an interview with the King Draedo. Here is that interview for you now.
Thank you for meeting with me on such short notice, King Draedo.
Of course. Now ask away. I do have much to attend to in the east.
I have it on good word that you received a letter from the assembly in Zeta. Is that true, and do you wish to disclose its contents?
I have a vague recollection of reading a letter from the mayor, and no, I do not wish to disclose anything.
What do you have to say about the Zayden unrest, then?
I do not know. The Zaydens are known to complain. I am more concerned about our eastern front. Our people, Zaydens included, are in danger of decimation or subjugation by the Chaharian barbarians.
What are you doing to halt the Chaharian war effort?
Everything that can be done. Now, if you will excuse me, I have more important matters that require my attention. Good day.
So, the King of Taealar has received the letter from Zeta. If he is considering it or not, I cannot say. But, wait, one moment. We have an urgent transmission incoming from Ethan number 2 in Zeta. Ethan number 2, what is going on over there? Chaos, Ethan number 1. Just moments ago, all was peaceful and everyone seemed at ease with the mayor's address. But now, somehow, out of nowhere, the Zaydans and Taean soldiers are clashing in the streets. Fire is burning in the windows and smoke is rising high above the eaves. I cannot tell what started this, but the Taeans are wiping through the Zaydan civilians. It is a massacre, Ethan. People are dying all around me and Molotov cocktails are exploding left and right. Chaos, I tell you. I'll try to get you more information, but for now, I'm just going to try and stay alive. Stay safe out there, Ethan number 2. Don't take any unnecessary risks. So chaos in the Zaydan Islands and war on the eastern borders. And speaking of the eastern borders, the Chaharians are making their power move, just as Dr. Scientist Ethan had predicted. The Chaharian cannons are being fully unleashed on the Taeans, raining constant fire on their heads, and without the Alani tanks to sustain the fire, the Taeans can't do much to respond. It seems this was the Anŷn plan all along. Take the tanks away from the battle and allow the Chaharians to bombard the Taeans. As the renewed battle unfolds, you will remain updated here, but first, a word from our sponsors. Community. It brings us together. Through fictitious factions meant for division, we are brought to unity in the pursuit of one game. Join us on Ethan Ray Graham's Discord server for community, factions, games, and so much more. Link is in the description. Welcome back. We have just received breaking news on the chaos that unfolded on the streets of Denisa just moments ago. The uproar began just shortly after Mayor Imea's speech when a faction of lumberjacks led by the Master Jack, one of Mayor Imea's own advisors, set an attack on the nearby Taean troops stationed as peacekeepers in Zeta. This initial small attack led to the upset Zaydans following the initiators. When the less violent Zaydans began to be fired upon, they too joined in with the attack on the Taeans. Reports now claim many Zaydans dead on the Denisan streets, and the Taean force has recalled to their outpost near the port. Word will likely soon reach the capital of Bayar, alerting King Draedo of the massacre in the islands. A truly bloody day to say the least, but it is by no means the end. I am now getting word that while the Zaydans face off against the Taean peacekeepers, back at the Dominion Tree, the Chaharian artillery cannons have gone offline. Ethan number 3 is on the front line reporting to us live what is happening. Ethan number 3, please explain what changed in such a short amount of time. Yes, Ethan number 1, many of the Chaharians are currently trying to figure out what happened to them as they run around in chaos trying to defend against the newly offensive Taeans. Somehow the Taeans led a small strike force through the front lines and stealthily wiped out the 5 artillery cannons stationed here on the western lines. Once the Chaharians realized what was happening, the Taeans had already dismantled and made obsolete 2 of the 5 cannons. The panicked Chaharians set up their defenses, but the remaining immobile cannons were unable to defend themselves, and the mass of the Taean army came in on the cannons' weak side. That was only an hour ago, and now all but one of the cannons is completely out of commission, with the final one about to fall any minute. The Chaharians are currently trying to push forward with the second wind to get something out of this truly devastating offensive from the Taeans. I will keep you updated as events unfold. Back to you in the studio, Ethan number 1. Thank you for that frontline report, Ethan number 3. We will now turn to Dr. Scientist Ethan for his opinion on these events, both in the east and on the west of Taealar. Doctor, what is likely going to happen on the... Wait, hold on. Ethan number 3 has an urgent report. Go ahead, Ethan. The Chaharians are making a last-ditch effort to push forward the Dominion Tree. The Chaharian general is leading the charge through the Taean battle line, and they seem to be breaking through. This time, the Taeans are surprised. They are falling apart at the weak point where the Chaharians have charged, and I don't think they expected the Chaharians to keep pushing towards the southwest after the ambush. I'll follow as closely as I dare, and... I'm now being pulled along with the Chaharians, Ethan. Gunshots are ringing in my ears and swords are swinging wildly. I think the cameraman just dropped the camera and broke the lens, but we'll stay reporting. We are now running at full speed to the Dominion Tree. The Taeans pursuing after us. I have no idea what the plan is, but maybe we'll make a last defense within the tree's walls.
We're now in the city. The Chaharians have sealed off the gates and the Taeans won't be able to get through. The city has been abandoned, though, for quite some weeks, so I'm not sure how long the defense will be able to hold. You will hear from me first what happens next, Ethan number 1, but it isn't looking too bright for the Chaharians. Or me. Back to you.
Please stay safe, Ethan number 3. We'll work to do whatever we can to get you out of there. The war between Taealar and Chahar suddenly got a whole lot more personal. We will discuss what actually happened right after this break.
Be sure to tune in this Friday for the next installment of Live Streams with Ethan. The story of Aetos and the war within unfolds piece by piece, both sides vying for control. Which side will win? Be sure to tune in this Friday at 7 p.m. MDT for Live Streams with Ethan.
We're back and have with us in the studio Dr. Scientist Ethan. Doctor, what just happened with the Chaharians and what are they trying to do? What will they do?
Well, Ethan, the Chaharians might have just sealed their fate. The Taeans destroyed the only thing the Chaharians had going for them, their artillery cannons. That made the Chaharians extremely vulnerable without their massive firepower covering them. This allowed the Taeans to finally fire on the Chaharians with their rifles, and the Chaharians were grounded with nowhere to go. I don't know why, but for some reason, General Katra decided their best plan of action was to rush for the Dominion Tree and try to make a stand there. Their only other options were to retreat and give the tree to the Taeans or to surrender. Maybe General Katra was trying to buy time for the Chaharian reinforcements to make it to the tree and then have control over the tree, but he sacrificed so much on the possibility of Emperor Gragos just not sending any reinforcements. But now it seems that General Katra's move is forcing Emperor Gragos' hand. We will see here in the near future, but for now the Chaharians and the walls of Dominion have set in for a siege. I only hope the Chaharians will be able to bail their own out, and I hope we can get Ethan number 3 out safe and sound.
Thank you for your insight, Doctor. We turn now to the other side of Taealar, where the Zaydans have turned to pirating shipping freights going to Zeta to pick up the quotas and take them supplies. The Taean sailors who have survived the Zaydan attacks say that the ghosts of the Zaydan Islands have come to get revenge on those souls lost in the massacre of Denysa. They have, quote, blue eyes, blue armor, and blue swords. Their swords are from the gods, end quote. In the last month, 5 shipping vessels have been attacked. 2 were sunk, 2 survived, and 1 with an unknown fate, possibly captured by the Zaydan pirates. What the pirates are doing and what their motive is unknown, but I just received an anonymous report from a Zaydan insider. The legendary Dryads have exited the forest after a long absence and made a pact and alliance with the colonial Zaydans. Apparently, the Dryads are able to take any form and have formed into swords and armor for the Zaydan rebels and have crafted for them ships of Dryadic materials and expertise. As for the rebels, the Zaydans have completely rebelled against the Taeans after the massacre of Denysa. They have now raided every single ship that has sailed into their waters. There you have it, folks. The Zaydans are now in full rebellion from the Taean crown. Today has been full of battles and bloodshed, but it is not yet over. Across the sea, back on mainland Aetos, the Alani have pushed back the Anŷn into the Dragon Mountains. The elves continuously retreat into the Dragon Valley, and just earlier today, a battle in the valley broke out. The Alani quickly swept over the Anŷn defenses as legendary dwarvish soldier Knight Alric IV led the charge through the elvish soldiers. The Anŷn are now retreating into the canyon of Surin, with the Alani following closely. We now turn to Ethan number 4 in Draedo with news on the Western Skirmish. Ethan, what do you have to tell us?
I am here at the royal docks of Draedo where the Iron Armada is stationed. For those who aren't aware, the Iron Armada is the most elite navy on the continent, created for use by the Taealar and Anŷn. It has been out of commission for quite a while, expeditions and trainings being the extent of their missions. But for now, the Iron Armada has been mobilized by King Draedo to respond to the Zaydan threat and put an end to the piracy. I have secured passage with the general of the Iron Armada, and we sail for the Xaden Islands. I will keep you updated, Ethan number 1. That is intriguing news, Ethan number 4. I can't wait to hear what happens next. We will return shortly with news from the Xaden Islands, but first, a quick break. Far in the north, where reindeer dwell in forests and villagers sit under a blanket of ice and snow, a darkness has spread down from the mountains. The villagers have been enslaved by the shadow, but an unexpected hero stops by just in time. Father Christmas goes from village to village, delivering Yule gifts, giving help where he can, and bringing joy to villagers. But now his aid is needed above all else. Armed with a battle axe and 2 hunters, Father Christmas must now face the darkness. The Chains of Yule, a Christmas short story, is coming on December 1st. Get your copy on ethanrgram.com or in the link in the description below. Breaking news! War in the East breaks out as the Xadens fight back against the Iron Armada. After a long sea voyage, the Armada made it to the Xaden Islands and the Xadens responded. The warriors now fight back against the invaders, declaring their independence and fighting on their home beaches. Ethan number 4 and Ethan number 2 are on the Xaden beaches right now reporting on the battle. Gentlemen, what can you tell us? The Iron Armada landed just a few hours ago. The landing parties were attacked almost the exact moment they landed. The Xadens burst from the jungle and have been coming to and from the jungle since then. Yes, the Xadens attack the Taeans, then fall back to the jungle to be replaced by fresh troops. But despite the Xaden strategy, the Iron soldiers are making small advances forward. I believe they are headed for Denysa. I don't mean to interrupt, Ethan number 2, but you said they are headed for Denysa? Why didn't they land at Denysa instead? Ethan, it's Ethan number 4 speaking. I have the answer for that. The Armada was afraid of being unable to fight through all of the Xaden ships. Denysa would likely be swarming with the Xaden warriors, so it would be better to approach the city by land. The Armada landed just a few miles outside of Denysa. This means, though, that the reef blocked the ships from making land, so smaller skiffs had to land instead, making the Taean effort a lot slower. I see. Well, thank you, Ethan number 2 and Ethan number 4, for your reporting on this issue. War in the East, war in the West. A new front has opened for the Taeans, so let us hope they will not be spread thin. In the west, the Xadens fight against the Taean government. In the east, the Taeans and Chaharians fight for control over the Dominion Tree, and in the south, the Anŷn retreat from the Alani through the Dragon Pass. We'll keep you updated as news comes, but until then, good night.